Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Superleague Social. I'm Jess Rogers, and in each show I talk to a different Vitality Netball Superleague club to give you at home an insight into how the clubs and players tick. This week I'm talking to Saracens Mavericks, and I'm delighted to be joined by defenders Joe Tripp and Razia Quashie. Hello ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for joining me today. So first of all, I want to talk about the return of netball. Netball's coming back, finally. People are allowed to play on court, albeit, 4 feet apart instead of 3. Joe, how does that feel, that news coming out in England?
It's been long awaited, I think, but it's also positive that it is getting back on track, hopefully towards leading into our season that we'll be fully back to normal netball, because I don't know how we would defend being 4 feet off. It would change the game completely at a high level. So, really exciting that it's going back towards more of normality.
Definitely. And yeah, there are definitely modifications, but hopefully by the time we get to the season opener in February, that will be a thing of the past. Raz, you're part of the Roses. Congratulations for being named in the squad again. How's it been, back with the Roses training? You've been back before, a lot of everyone else, really.
Thank you. Being back is weird. We've been training by ourselves with our Super League. To come back into the Roses and seeing everyone is a bit of like a love-hate. Like, you like being back, but there's so many restrictions that it kind of makes you eager to get back, because you're in pods of 8 at the moment, and we can only train in our pod. We can only interact with our pod, and we kind of see the other girls, but you can't interact with them on that level, if that makes sense. Training wise, I think we're just at the start, it was really annoying because it was quite a lot of footwork patterns and drills like that. We weren't touching the balls, ball work, and that got tiring really, really quick. So now it's we can pass the ball to each other, kind of defend, but it's just making us want more and want to get back on court and actually be competitive with one another, and just be back to normal in a sense.
What is the vibe like with the rest of the Roses girls? Obviously you've got people from all different Super League teams there. Is there a real desire to get back on court, an excitement for maybe, matches later this year and the Super League season next year?
I think 100%. I think if you look at the girls who've come back into the Roses programme, you can tell a massive difference in those who have been training really hard. You've seen quite a lot of the girls who've toned up, or similar to Laura Malcolm, watching her doing the bleep test, and she's just amazing at it. I'm not there yet, but she's just literally when you see someone, you just know that they've been training so hard off court while this was going on, and they come in, and I think right now, as a group, we're one of the fittest we've ever been. I think everyone's kind of committed to training during quarantine, so seeing all that and then coming in, I think everyone wants to be better. Everyone wants to be better than the next, because we're all competing for that spot. So I think it's a lot more competitive, but competitive in a sense where it's yourself, within yourself. You want to be better, you want to be fitter, you want to be stronger to then come out on court. So when we are ready to train as a group, we're all ready together.
Definitely. And I think everyone's lockdown journey has probably been pretty different, but it's good to hear that it sounds like some of the Roses, like Laura Malcolm, has come back fitter and stronger after this time. Joe, how has training been, for Saracens Mavericks during that lockdown period? What type of stuff were you up to?
We continued training on I think it was a Tuesday, Thursday for quite a while, for quite a long time. We were just doing a hit circuit type session. At first they were quite long. And then us players were can we go harder for shorter amount of time type of thing? Because I think the novelty wore off pretty quickly. Obviously, some of us, it's the only netball. If we're not international, it could be the only netball we play. So for me, it was before the 3 games, I'd touched the ball last year, July, maybe June. So for a whole season now, I've played 3 games in over a year, which, the the training did become very individual. I love it personally. I don't mind training by myself, but I know a lot of the girls need, in like that team environment, or at least a partner to train with. But we continued like motivating each other. It was just kind of optional if your life determined that you could be there, kind of. And for people like myself and Ray's, I think we were there every time because we weren't doing anything else, so didn't really have an excuse. I know, yes.
And as we know, COVID did mean that the season got cut short and you guys only got 3 matches out of that. So what was a really long pre-season before that, obviously now has turned into the longest pre-season ever before the 21 season. But I just want to touch upon kind of COVID and the effect it has, because it's hit sport really hard across the board, and especially Super League clubs. And Mavs have been quite open about that difficult position you've been in. And I've seen, you've done some crowdfunding, you've done a team fundraiser. How has that been, Raz? Like, how was the recent Save Our Team fundraiser?
It was amazing, I think, just to have one person put it in the group chat and having so many people put their hands up and said they're willing to do it. I think it just cement what I felt during the preseason and going into the season, that we were all in this together. We were kind of like committed to, again, not finish like out of the top 4. We did like we did. We all wanted to commit fully and actually come together and actually do well this season. So I think it cement for me how much the team meant, like as players, how much the Saracens meant to us and how much we were willing to do for it. I think it was nice going on live and like seeing all the girls doing their little parts. Joe, I didn't join yours because no, I was on my break and I was like, no, I'm not doing it. But it was just nice. Like Georgia Lee's doing it while she was on holiday. Like that just shows the commitment that we all have to the team. And it's just been surreal just to have that connection right now, even though we haven't seen each other in such a long time. But yeah, it's just been amazing.
It really did look like you all really came together and you all delivered such great and different sessions. And Joe, can you just kind of give a quick example or explain what that fundraiser looked like with you all running different sessions?
Yeah, so the fundraiser was one day we did a session every hour on the hour type thing, and it was 1 or 2 players. It consisted of hit, Q&A, plyos, I think Jodie did, abs with Sasha. I did another hit. Georgia was in Turkey in 37 degrees heat, very tan, very jealous of her during the session. It just consisted of everything our team is about, and also what I quite liked is it's what a lot of us do bring to the team. We were quite personal to what we enjoy doing. So you have people, like Sasha, who comes from a gymnastics background, who has abs of steel, doing the abs one, and someone like Kadeen doing games and jokes and fun. And, I think we represented ourselves in our own way as well, which I really enjoyed.
The next part I want to talk about is touching upon that 2019 finish where you guys, you came 5th in the table, which is, as you said, not where you wanted to be. So what did that feel like going into the season opener for 2020? What did that give you?
For me, I was nervous. Like, I don't know what it was. Actually, I do know what it was. Like the training before, like on the Thursday, completely ripped my shoes. I didn't have a spare with me. On the day, I think I had to have like Lavelle Netball sent me like a new pair of shoes to like play with on that day. Like I was first on all the shoes. I was so nervous. I like opened them out the box and I had like 2 pairs and I was literally like running up and down the changing room with them on. I was like, guys, which one do you prefer? And they were like, oh, this one looks better. I was like, no, it's not about the look, it's about the feel. So I was extremely nervous going into it just because I've been in Super League. This has been my 4th season and I've claimed 7th, 5th. I've never been in the top 4 and I just felt like we've built from last year like so much that I just wanted to be in that top 4. I wanted that fight and I felt like everyone had it going into this season. So for me, it was a lot of pressure, but I think we did well to come back because we were down by a lot after like the first quarter. And I think it's just the fight that we had as a team to not let that put us down, because if it was last season, we probably would have lost that game. We wouldn't have come back the way we did. So I think that was just a show of what we could have done going on through if we had to finish the season.
Well, that first match, you ended up winning at 70-49 against Seven Stars, which was a big win. And your squad for, 2020 was looking super strong. And I think other teams were scared, from what I've spoken to them. They were scared of what Mavs were going to bring. It's almost like, you did have a bit of a point to prove after finishing 5th in 2019. Like, Jo, how did you feel going into the 2020 season?
It was the best pre-season I've had since being here. I've been here 5 years now, so they always, people in our team always like, oh, we don't have an import. I'm like, no, still from New Zealand, but because I've been here so long now, I'm just part of the furniture. So I was really excited, to be honest. I'm one of those, players that I think I progressed throughout a season. And I know with Raz and I, we don't actually get a lot of time together before a season. So basically in those first games, we're figuring ourselves out. So I'm excited. Like when going into 2020, the team shaped up beautifully. Absolutely loved the girls. The vibe was just, second to none. It had a feel of a winning team, and I've been in winning teams before. I've been in finals here in my second year with Loughborough, and it had that type of feel, and the culture had shifted to, we all expected a whole lot more than we did last year. It was kind of like, if we keep doing what we did last year, we're gonna come fifth or worse again. And I think everyone was just like, right, this is up to us, and we did feel the pressure. I know players handle it in different ways, and I think it was reflected in our first quarter. When we came off, I was actually giggling. We did get a rocket up the arse from Kat. Sorry if I can say that, but I wasn't. I think we were like, I want to say we were like 7+ down, like maybe even like nearer the 10. Like we were pumped in a quarter, and I just remember giggling, which is my way of just being like, we're good. Like I was like, and Kat's like, what's happened? I was like, we just forgot how to play, like, and then all of a sudden, I think the next quarter was like 21-5 or something, and I was like, right, this is us, this is what we've been at training. Trainings are like games now. We've got such a competitive group. There's a lot of girls, that represent England on different levels, whether they're in futures or in the squads. And there's, people like myself who can, push and hang with the best of them as well. So I just think I was buzzing, and I was absolutely gutted. I think I still am. I think I took a couple months to get over it, that this season wasn't going to go ahead. But, it was out of our control, and I think, I'm ready for the next season for sure.
Jo, you're from New Zealand. If people didn't already realise from your accent, you've got under 21 Silver Ferns experience and the A team experience over there. Can you tell us about your journey to come over to Super League and play over here?
Yeah, so I was I think I was 25 when I came over. When I was 24, I'd been on the bench for a number of years in New Zealand, and the last 2 years, I think when I was 23, 24, 25, was I had Liana De Brain and Casey Kopua. I was behind those guys in the team, and I just learned my craft, really. I studied what they did, built from there. And then I gained a Silver Ferns trial, which was quite a shock. But I did a under 23s tournament, and I was player of the tournament. I had taken what I learned, and I went to those trials, made New Zealand A, and then some stuff happened in my personal life. I was 25, and I was like, I looked at the next Commie Games and World Cup, which has just happened. And I kind of calculated all those girls that were kind of ahead of me and thought, could I make it there? And I thought, what, I think I could, but would I be on court? And I was like, I really want to travel. I had a passion to travel and see more of the world. And I've had a lot of people you know, throughout my netball career from when I was like 18, 19, a lot of them did miss out on things like travel and all that kind of stuff. And I just kind of thought, you know what, that's taking priority. And so I just kind of thought, okay, I'll come over, play one season was my plan, and travel and return. But I played a season, wasn't great, by all means. And then, but I'd made some really good friends and I enjoyed the netball. And I think one thing for me is it had quite a few, it only had 8 teams, but this next year it was going up to 10. And I think when you play in New Zealand your whole life, it is a very small group that you're constantly up against, you know, age groups, and then you're making your way through. So you're playing the same people over and over for, you know, 6-8 years. And I liked the challenge of new people.
Raz, I mentioned earlier that you are a Vitality Rose. Again, congratulations. I want to know, what does it mean to you to be in that squad, and how did you get there?
Mine is a very short and sweet story. I have always been like athletic, so I did quite a lot of sports, and then I think I took a couple years out. So this was when I was in like year 10, 11. I think I took like 2 years out just because everyone was going out and I wanted to go out with them and have fun. And then when I reached to sixth form, I was like, you know what, let me just get back into it. So I trialled for Regional Performance Academy at the time. I got in, and my coach, Leslie Tischer, was like, Storm's looking for a defender if you want to be there. I think that was like a week before the trials. And then showed up at the trials. I made it into the training squad. And then a couple of weeks into training, they were like, we're going to put you into the actual squad. I was like, okay, cool. And then when the season started, I was the starting goalkeeper, goal defence at the time. And then I think it was like the next year when we had to retrial for RPA, I actually got into Nationals Academy. So I think I did under 19s and went to Jamaica, did that tour, kind of just went up the age group, did under 21s, and then here I am in the England setup after the World Youths game, I think. I got offered a position by Tracy and I accepted, and then since then it's been history. But I did take a year out to finish my 3rd year of uni last year.
What did you study?
I did sports science, human performance. I took a year out just to complete that year and kind of like give it a bit of like freedom, but it didn't really work because then I got selected for all the tours. So I ended up having to do like extension on every single coursework. But I really enjoyed it. I was even part of like going to Manchester to help some of the girls out before the World Cup and all that type of stuff. And then since then, I've kind of wanted to make it into that team to represent at like the Commonwealth Games and World Cup. So that's my goal from now on, type of thing.
I want to end today, ladies, with a couple of questions, kind of about each other or about, you know, the leagues that you kind of didn't play in. So, Joe, I'm going to come to you first and ask you some questions about the Super League to see just how well you know the Super League and Saracens Mavericks, okay? So, it's out of 3. Question number 1. In what year did the Vitality Netball Superleague competition officially start?
I'm just going to have a sad 2000 and...
I don't even know this, so it's fine.
What did you say, Joe? 2007?
2007?
It was 2005/2006. So you're very close. Okay. Question number 2. Were Mavericks founding members of the Super League?
God, I feel like I should know this one. But I don't. 50-50. Founding members being a team that was originally there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Correct.
Good.
They were.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, question number 3. Mavericks have won 2 Super League championship titles in their time. Now, what years did they win these championships in?
I literally knew this was going to be a question. I was like, I should Google when Mavs have won because, okay, they've won in They won early on. I think they may have won 2007/2008.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they won it like 4 years later, maybe like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, 2011.
I didn't know that. I just knew they won early on just because I remember Lou and Sasha and all those people talking about it. But no, I did not know that.
So, Joe, not too bad, right? 2 out of 3. There we go. Right, Raz, over to you. What is the capital of New Zealand?
Oh my God. Why? My mind's gone blank. Does it begin with a C?
That's Australia.
Oh yeah, it is Australia. I have no idea. I've drawn up blank.
Joe, do you want to enlighten Raz?
Yes, please.
Wellington.
There we go. I wouldn't have got that anyways.
Right, question number 2. The ANZ League in New Zealand recently finished, but how many teams play in that league?
Easy.
10, 8? I don't know. I don't watch netball, guys.
No,
I literally just watched I watched 5 games. That was because my friend Callie was playing in them, and I was like, I'll support you. Yes.
So, do you want to tell Raz how many teams?
6.
6.
Yeah.
That'll get boring quick.
I know. They
That's what Joe was saying earlier.
3 times.
No.
When I played, there was 10 in the ANZ because it was Australia, New Zealand, and then obviously they split a few years ago.
6?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So by the time you must make semis and finals, you're playing a team 4 times.
No.
The last question, Raz.
It's gonna
Last
be bad.
question. I haven't got a good feeling about this one.
No, terrible.
What teams in New Zealand did Joe play for?
I have no idea.
I'm so sorry to put you on the spot.
I have no idea. Absolutely none.
Joe, am I right in saying it's Magic and Tactics?
Yeah.
Magic and Tactics. Nice.
Well, Raz, you need to brush up on your New Zealand netball, baby.
Honestly, I'm terrible. For me, watching netball is like the vein of my life. I just rather be on court and play. I think when I'm watching it, I'm like, ooh, I want to be there. But yeah, I need to be better. I really do.
Well, I feel like we've learned a few things today. Joe knows the Super League better than Raz knows New Zealand netball, and Joe probably knows Super League better than Raz knows Super League netball.
100%.
I just been around all the time. That's all it is.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for coming on today, getting to know you both a bit more. For those at home, get in touch with the show with hashtag Superleague Social and @NetballSL, and we'll be back talking to another Super League team soon. So thank you, ladies, for joining me, and we'll chat soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.